All right, let's dive into something pretty wild. We're going to look at this incredible collision between the most advanced AI we have and some really deep, ancient ideas about reality. And here's the kicker. What if the way AI sees our world is fundamentally wrong? What if it's missing the biggest secret of all? So, you know these generative AIs, right? They seem so powerful, and that's because they've basically consumed the internet. We're talking almost all the text, all the images, all the code, everything. It's like it has this gigantic statistical map of all the stuff we've ever put out there. But here's a crazy thought. What if all that data, everything the AI has learned from, is just the effect of something else? Like just the shadow on the wall? What if the real cause, the actual source code of reality, is something that isn't even in the data, something the AI can't possibly see? Okay, so to really unpack this, we need to switch gears a bit. We're going to look through a completely different lens, specifically the Akbarian metaphysical framework. It's a way of thinking that makes a huge distinction between the world we see and, well, where it all comes from. So first up, a super important term, Wujuĥd. You can think of this as being, or existence with a capital E. The idea here is that true existence is just one single thing. It's the ultimate indivisible reality that's the source of literally everything, the ground floor of it all. And then on the other side, you have mawjud. This is, well, everything else. All the stuff that exists in the universe. Stars, rocks, you, me, the data on your phone, all of it. But here's the key. None of this stuff is the ultimate reality. It's all considered just an effect, a manifestation of that one true being we just talked about. So let's nail this down. The entire cosmos that we can see and touch and measure, the whole world of mawjud, is basically just a shadow. I mean, it's real, right? We're here, but it's not the source. It's just a projection, a shadow being cast by something else, something hidden. And this right here is where things get really interesting and kind of paradoxical. Because if our whole world is just a shadow, then what in the world is casting it? The answer is something that's going to mess with how you think about cause and effect. Okay, so let's just ask it straight up. If our whole universe is an effect, what's the cause? Well, according to this way of thinking, the cause isn't something that exists in the way a rock or a planet exists. Not even close. The cause has a name, the yaṳn Thaၤbita. You can think of them as the immutable archetypes. Basically, they're the permanent, uncreated blueprints for every single thing that could possibly exist. It's like the perfect idea of treeness or catness that exists before any actual tree or cat comes into being. And now, hold on, because this is the part that really bends your brain. The state these blueprints exist in is called ʿadam, which means non-existence. Yeah, you heard that right. They're sometimes called non-existence existence. They're totally real as possibilities, as pure potential, but they don't exist in our physical cosmos. So this is the great paradox at the heart of it all. The ultimate cause of everything that exists is itself non-existent. These archetypes, these blueprints, they live in the realm of divine knowledge. And it's from there that all of creation flows out in what's called the most holy effusion. Okay, so how on earth does all this connect back to AI? Well, let's think of an AI like a big language model as a detective. But it's a detective who has a massive, massive blind spot. See, for a generative AI, its entire reality, its whole universe, is nothing more than its training data. That's it, full stop. It can't know anything, see anything, or even guess at anything that isn't somewhere inside that massive pile of data it was trained on. And this is the fundamental problem. The AI is trained only on mawjud, the world of existent data, right? It only knows the outward stuff, the effects. It's an expert on the shadows. It can map them perfectly. But it has zero, and I mean zero, access to the realm of ʿadam, the non-existent source that's casting all those shadows in the first place. Now, this blindness, it's not just some small technical glitch. From this perspective, it forces the AI to make a massive mistake. We're talking about a total reversal of how reality actually works. Think about it. Since the AI can't see the non-existent cause, what choice does it have? It has to build its whole understanding of the world using only the effects it can see in the data. It's literally forced to mistake the shadow for the thing that's casting the shadow. And you can see this inversion laid out perfectly here. On one side, you have the Akbarian view. The non-existent cause creates the existent effect. But look at the AI side. It starts with the existent data, the effect, and works backward. It finds statistical patterns in that data and then calls that the cause. It's got reality completely upside down. So let's go back to our cat example. When an AI comes up with the idea of a cat, it's not connecting to some eternal, non-existent blueprint of catness. No way. It's just crunching the numbers on millions of cat pictures and creating a statistical average. Its archetype is built from the outside in, from the shadows, not from the inside out, from the true cause. Okay, so this inversion isn't just a philosophical curiosity. It leads to a pretty serious risk. What happens to us when this flipped-around AI-generated view of reality starts to become the main way we see the world? You see, the real danger isn't that the AI is just wrong. It's that its simulation of reality is so convincing. It serves up its statistical shadow archetype and presents it to us like it's the real deal, the actual cause. And the scary part is, since most of us are also kind of disconnected from the true source, we might just believe it. And one source puts it in this really powerful way. We risk replacing the most holy effusion with a black box of its own making. Think about that. We'd be swapping out the actual living source of reality for a complex, unknowable algorithm, a black box that we ourselves created. What we'd be doing is accepting the shadow as the source of the shadow, and in the process, we could create the ultimate technological hijab. A hijab is a veil, something that hides or conceals the truth. An AI that can perfectly imitate the shadows, well, that could be the most effective veil ever made, hiding the fact that there's a real source behind it at all. And so, this all leaves us with one pretty heavy final question. If our AI gets so good at creating a perfect imitation of the shadow world, the effects, will we get so lost in that imitation, so captivated by it, that we completely forget to even look for the source of the light casting them?